Ois Gimel. So we explained earlier the different madregas. There is the level of rotzin that is mizgale, that is revealed, but inside that rotzin that is mizgale, you have the level of tainug, which is not revealed. And the same thing he says is by Torah that we learn the Torah mitzvahs. Gimel. V'hinei ha-Torah ha-nigla, the Torah which is revealed, the Torah that we learn, the revealed Torah, hi bechinas rotzin ha-mizgala hanal, that's in the level of rotzin that is revealed. Hashem's will as it comes out in Torah. So we can tell, we can see the will of Hashem. Like it says in the Zohar, the Taryag mitzvahs nimshochim min Taryag orchim. The 613 mitzvahs are drawn from the 613 passageways. That's sort of the level of Keser, which consists of Cyrus and Orchim. Those are the spaces in between the Cyrus. There is 613. So that means that the level of mitzvahs extend from Rotzen, extend from Keser. Vizehu, and this is also what the pasuk says, Ba'atorah she'itra loy imoy, that when it talks about Matan Torah, we say the crown that his mother crowned him basically means the Torah is considered like a crown, like the level of Keser. Ki harotzin hanal, for the above mentioned rotzin, the thing that comes out, the want, Hashem's wishes, Hashem's wants, Hashem's command for the mitzvahs, nikra atorah v'keser. That is called a crown, and that surrounds, goes on top of the head. Hanase min ha'avonim tovim. That is made up from precious stones. Stones veheim doimem. They are inanimate. Ve'afal pikein yesh bo yofi hodor. Still, it has a splendorous beauty, asher meir bo, that shines in the stones. Oir muhudar v'nelam. There is a splendid light and a hidden light, which means while the mitzvahs are just very physical, they're like inanimate, we do them with material physical matters. It is like the crown that is made up from these jewels who are inanimate, they're doimim, and yet inside them sparks a tremendous beauty that is obscure, that you don't really see in the inanimate, but that's the higher level. As he explains in the parentheses, likewise, mitzvahs are made up from physical matters. Tzitzis comes mitzemer, comes from wool. Utefillin comes mikla, from parchment. Zehu k'moshul doimim ve'evan. That is the example of inanimate and a stone. However, it is a good and splendorous stuff. So that is like the above mentioned level of rotzin, or we call it the level of arich. That is only the externality of the hidden moyach. Hanelam b'pnimis shalarotzin, which is obscured in the inner of the will. We don't see it. We just see a rotzin. Shtoik kacholomach. This is what you need to do. but there is hidden in there the moichas dima, which is in the Ratzon. Ukumay likewise, ha-Torah hanigla, the Torah that is revealed, ein bo tam golu yumaspik lonu al kol ha-mitzvahs, doesn't have a revealed reason sufficient for all the mitzvahs. So in other words, we don't have the full understanding. When we learn Torah, we don't have the full understanding of it. Kimoi, give you an example, something which is seemingly lacking explanation. So we say, Kimoi de memayet ksus lailo miri'isa moisa. So we exclude a garment of the nighttime, that you don't need tzitzis on a garment of the nighttime. Why? Because the pasuk says, "Uri isem oiser," that you shall see them. At nighttime, when it's dark, you don't see them. So therefore, the ksus laila is exempt from tzitzis. But on the other hand, umarbe ksus suma. But we do include. But what happened? The garment of a person who is blind, who also cannot say no. We say he does have to. So we don't have a sufficient reason. Why are we excluding the night garment and we're not excluding the summa? And that is because it's not all, this is not completely the logic that we can understand. It is because it's rooted only from the externality that has presently been revealed, which is Rotzein B'li Tam, a want without a reason. That's the way Hashem wants. It's not that we understand fully the reasoning. Avalosid Iso, but when we talk about the future, we say Sheyutan Lonu Torah Chadosha, that a new Torah will be given to us. This is in the rabbis, in Bereshis Rabbah, in the Shmini, in the Medrash Rabbah, in Shmini Parshas Yom. What does it mean, a new Torah? A new Torah doesn't mean a different Torah. A new Torah means that we will get the reasoning, the hidden, the tainug that is behind the Torah, behind the mitzvahs, will be revealed. It'll be a new Torah because it will be a Torah with its delight, with the tainug, with the hidden reason. Hakavon alzeh. So what does this mean? What is the intent? Rashi al posik, as Rashi writes on the verse, Yishakeni min neshikes piu, that the verse that he will kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. Rashi says, she is galu lonu taime Torah hapnimis, that to us will be revealed the inner reason, the reasons of Torah. Hainu, that is moichas dimo yovoi b'izgalus hatam v'oinek sholarotzin. That level of moichas dimo will become revealed in the reason and the delight of the rotzin, as the pasuk says, "Ostis aneg alavaya." Then you will delight over avaya. And we said, Al Havaya, Tisaneg, you will delight over Havaya, meaning higher than Havaya. Shehatainu Gavoya Mishem Havaya. The mitzvahs are mitzvahs Hashem. Those are the rotzim. That's not the level of Tainug. But in the future, it will be revealed the Al Havaya. Hu behelem v'nistar meitonu. Presently, it's obscure and hidden from us. But then, when the reason and the delight of moiches timo will be revealed, al havaya, then the tainug will be over higher than havaya, because then we'll tap in the revelation to the moiches timo to the level of tainug. The Rebbe says this is also the two steps. We have betrothal, erusin, then we have marriage. So Matan Torah really was only the betrothal, the connection, and marriage. And the marriage, there's actually a more intimate and inner relationship between the husband and the wife versus the connection that takes place during the betrothal, during the Erusin. This is also the root of the idea of Erusin Nisuin. During the giving of the Torah was only the betrothal. What happens at a betrothal? What happens at Kiddushin? The woman only receives this round ring. And that is the idea of Kadshenu b'mitzvah. Make us Kiddushin. With the mitzvahs, we get the level of Kiddushin. But in the future, there will be marriage. Say their boy, say Parshat Ezvav. There, the pasuk says, "Kiba alayich oisayich," the one who is intimate with you that makes you. Isha niknes bebia. A woman is acquired through intimacy. That's another way of kiddushin, but that is going to be the connection between the Hashem and the Yidden, that when you have the bia, and then the seed comes from the brain of the father from the inside. So what this means is that in the future there will be a revelation, the inner of the, which is which is that the light will become revealed to us. That's why then the marriage will be through intimacy by Elayich. So what's the reason that this revelation will be only in the future? For it's known, the Shoirish, you're going to say that only in the future, when we'll sort out and we'll be mevarer all from the klippus and we'll through all the mitzvahs, mitzvahs loisas, then the world will be ready and we'll be able to tap into the Shoirish of all of this physical world, which comes really from a higher place. Kina Yedua, the Shoirish HaMitzvahs who rak levarer ma'asiyah. What is the root of mitzvahs? Is to sort out from asiyah, from this world of asiyah. We are hatoiv the noiga b'mitzvahs hasei, the good which is in klippas noiga by doing the mitzvahs hasei, and the loisa is lahafrid hara. The loisa is to separate the bad. Because in every item, afilu b'chol nefesh mi Yisrael, and even in every Jewish soul, yesh toiv v'ra, there is good and bad. Asher al yidei nefilas rapach netzutzim, asher nisarvu b'ra. Through the fall of the 288 sparks that have gotten mixed up in bad, which means when there was the Shviras HaKelim in Toyu, so there was 288 sparks, Ruach Elikim Merachefes, the Rachefes, the Reish Peiches, sparks that got mixed into Ra, that's from the Klippas Noiga. So then we need through the mitzvah saseh and the prohibitions not to do. We have to separate them and sort them out. That's the purpose of Torah mitzvahs. That's the root why we do them in this world. But once you sort them out, then they're much higher and they're much bigger and higher. Once they've been sorted out, these the mitzvahs, the dvarim gashmim, they become much higher. Why? Kishorsho mitoyu, because they are rooted in toyu. Asher nailu b'madrege yoser min hatikun, achar habirur, because that is in a higher madrega more than tikkun after the sorting out. So once you sort out, then you actually get to a higher level. And that's why he says food that you eat, even though in this way it comes down in Asiya, it's shemeach, it's on a lower level than the person, but yet it gives energy to the person, because once you sort it out and you make the bracha and you eat it properly, then you get the energy from the source of the Michael. For that reason, the food vitalizes the person. Because the root of the food. Even though as it is below, it's mixed in with bad, with ra. But the root of it is toyu. And therefore, a person eats them and sorts out the good, and he chases away the bad and the leftovers and to the outside. So then, after the sorting out of the good from the Michael, so that not only are they elevated through the person, but they actually vitalize the person. They vitalize the person, and they add strength and energy to his soul. Because after they were sorted out, after they go up to their source, they are on a higher level. The Hainu, they are me'olam hatoyu, from the world of toyu, shekodam l'tikun, that comes before tikkun. Because as we say, in the name of Avaya, so we have toyu is Shem Sag, the name that is put together that equals 63, which is on a higher level than the tikkun, which is the Shema, which is Yudke Vavke, which comes out to the numerical value of 45. And that's when you get when you sort it out. That's why we have to wait for the now, before the sparks that fell down have been sorted out. We're not talking about individual. We're talking about all of the sorting out, what is to do in the whole world. Mean to say, before it's all been sorted out, so still, there is no revelation. There is not in the revelation of time, because there's a mixture of toiv v'ra in the sparks that came down. But after the sorting out, in which they return back to their previous level, then it will be that at the end of action was what was in the thought first, which means even though in Asiya they came down lower, but they were originally in the machshava, they come from a higher place. There will be no obscurity from the bad. Then automatically will be a revelation of the delight from the light and the ray of above. And specifically from the sorting out of the lower from today, that's how we come to that greater level. And this is also the idea of Eishes Chayil Ateres Baila. So now we know that the man is the mashpia and the woman is the recipient. But it says in the future, Eishes Chayil, that the wife of the Chayil will become the crown of her husband, will mean she will be mashpia to the husband. Shabo Yia Meir Oir Toiv Tam Vedaz Hagonus Venelam, that in her, in the Eishes Chayil, will shine that good reasoning and the das, which is hidden and obscure. The Hainu B'chinas Moiches Timo, with love of Moiches Timo. And that level, that's even higher than the Kovedilo, because that's a level which is Tainug, which is higher than Koved. Koved Lamed Beis Nesivas Chochmei. Koved is Gematria 32, which represents the 32 passages of Chochmei Law. That so there is passages, there's roads where it comes down. Avol Moiches Timo lo yispatcho b'nesivas. That has not developed, didn't open up through passageway. There's no, doesn't come down at all. Now it's in a good jewel, it's level of doiner. It's not developed. The mitzvahs we don't see. Then the light will be revealed. And Toyu will become the higher level than Tikkun. Kigam Tikkun Yiyos. Tikkun will be there. But in Toyu, the light will be greater after the sorting out. So the Toyu's light, after once you sort it out, will be in a much higher level. You'll have the Moichos Timor, Nimtza. Hamekuvan. So turns out, so what is the intent? Shebechinas ha'izgalus mipnimis hakeser shehu moichos timo v'atik, that the level of revelation of the inner of keser, which is moichos timo and atik, zayir davke achar shleimus haberurim de toyu. That only can take place after the completion of all the berurim of toyu. Look at the reason at the end of the Mamer. And the two last brachas that we do by the Sheva brachas. So he says like this. First you say, he rejoices the choson and the kala. That means that the choson comes first and he gives to the kala. But in the second last bracha, he says, he will rejoice the choson together with the kala, which means the kala will bring the joy from the choson, because after the birur, the kala stands on a higher level. As of now, the kala receives from the choson. The choson and then the kala. But in the future, they will be equal. The chos and the kala. The chos will not have to be mashpia to the kala. It will be keser echad lishneyem. It will be one crown for both of them. Levana, before it was diminished when Hashem made the levana small, it was equal to the sun. The sun representing the man and the moon representing the woman. And that's why Zehu, we say, at that point, La'asid is Hameach Chosar im HaKala, together with the Kala. Shalidei HaKala, that means that through the Kala, Sameach HaChosan, he will rejoice the Chosan, Ke'eshes Chayla Teres Baila. And because the Eshes Chayla, she will become the crown, the Hamshocha, to her husband. And Omer Gamken over there also says, Yishoma kol choson v'kol kala. You will be able to hear in the future. Oid Yishoma be'ora Yehuda kol choson v'kol kala. Presently, the woman, the kala, she's silent. The choson says harat mukodeshesli, and the woman is silent. But the future will be kol choson v'kol kala. Kilo osid yila kala kol. In the future, a kala will have a voice. What does it mean, a voice? Koil hainu himshacha v'hizgalus. That means to extend the revelation, just like a physical voice extends and is revealed from the ear of the heart, comes down to the pipeline, to where he speaks. And the future, when it will be then the kala will have a voice. It will be hamshocha v'hizgalus, to extend and bring down. Well, derech mashekosub, similar what is written in the pasuk that b'yom hahu yetzu mayim chayim Yerushalayim. At that day in the future, the water the living water will come from Yerushalayim, and Chetziom El Hayam HaKadmoni. Half of them will come to the east ocean. Shahamalchus Tia Ateres Mashpia Lebailo Gavoya Min Hatikun. That the Malchus, that Yerushalayim, which is the level of Malchus, will be Mashpia to her husband, Eishes Chateres Bailo, which is higher than Tikkun. Rak Machmashagam Hatikun Lo Yizbatel. But it's not only that Koyu is going to be mashpia. It's only the Kal is going to mashpia. Shagam Hatikun Lo Yizbatel. Okay, Kol Chosav v'Kol Kalo. There's going to be Tikkun too. It'll be both Kol Chosav v'Kol Kalo. Shalishneim Yiyah Kol Hamshocha v'Yizgalus. They'll both have a voice, Hamshocha and Yizgalus, which is the Beis Hamaoires Hagdolim, the two great luminaries which will take place Achar HaBirur, after the sorting out. Behine moichas timo moker kol habirurim. Moichas timo, that is the source of all the sorting outs. Ki mashakosu b'chochma is beriru, that it's sorted out in the chochma. Shorshom in moichas timo hanelam sheshom ikar habirur. It comes rooted in moichas timo, which is the main birur. K'mashakosu v'dibra maschil lo manich nismacha. But ba'achar she is bariru. After it's sorted out, then will be the revelation Meichus Timo, Tainug Elyon, the supreme delight, Tachlis Hashlemus, the ultimate wholesomeness. Oz Yia is Galus Pnimis Tami HaTorah. Then will be the revelation of the reasons of the Torah, the level of Meichus Timo, Yeshakenu Menishikas Piu, to kiss me from the kiss of his mouth. Right now, davening is done silently, the Amida. She has no voice. Why? Now the level of dibur is subjugated relative to thought and emotion on lower level, which means that Isha tefela legabe baila, this woman is secondary to her husband. But in the future to come, after things will be sorted out, when the hidden moich will be revealed, that's tuv tam vadas, that's good reasoning and knowledge. Oz yil akala godel, then the kala will have a great voice, like it says, kol godel v'lo yosaf, without stopping, a loud voice. Shmoine esrei b'kol rom, then we will daven the Amida in a loud voice. V'yiyah hamalchus iker eishes chayil eteres baila. Main thing, she will be eishes chayil eteres baila. Kinoida shebe eses spheres the air chayzer, that in the 10 spheres of the returning light, when it goes back from the bottom to the top, so it starts eishes chayil hamalchus u'keser v'yisoid. That's the crown, that's the foundation of Mashpiachs of the Malchus, which right now gives to Malchus, that will be the Yesod, who Chokma will give it back to Chokma. So it Parshas Vayigash. Okay, so let's leave it over here.